Return to Glory podcast. It's game week. Hunter Zarbanicki, Dakota Freetag, Austin will hopefully be joining us here in a moment. Back, we made it. College football's back. K-State, Iowa State kicked off in Ireland in week one. Nebraska, Cincinnati, Thursday night, Arrowhead Stadium.
Finally. We finally made it. And I don't know what it is about the Ireland game. It always ends up being a great game. There's been one that was bad, but usually it's always a great game.
Ranked versus ranked game over there for the first time, I believe. And, I mean, you made the comment to me after watching the game, weren't overly impressed with these two teams. They are obviously both in the Big 12 and ranked. Cincinnati also in the Big 12. Was a good game. Lower scoring. Iowa State coming out on top. But, yeah, if that's any sign of where Cincinnati's at, I got to make you feel better as a Husker
fan. Does it? I mean, maybe Cincinnati's one of the best Big 12 teams. Who knows?
I mean, maybe if you want to look at it from that angle, you could. We're going to have a guest on here today. Kendall Post going to be joining us. Kendall's a big Chiefs fan, goes to a lot of the Chiefs games, going to give us some insight on the tailgating scene, the parking, and how everything is going to work down in Arrowhead. Before we get to that, we're going to talk some of the big news and headlines here around Cincinnati, but specifically the depth chart that was released late last week. And there's definitely some talking points here, some key things to point out. I'm going to start with first thing here with the quarterback situation, which we all knew Dylan Raiola was going to be listed there as number one, but the number two might surprise some people. And there's no oars at the quarterback, and actually not too many throughout the depth chart. TJ Lateef, the freshman, the true number two. And the main reasoning, it sounds like, is his legs. He can move a little bit. Gramsted's the senior transfer who everybody probably assumed would be.
That's what I thought was going to be number two.
So it's interesting. Like maybe that's something you keep a guy around more. He's second, but maybe he's like, this is the guy we want at the number two spot in DJ Lateef, who has looked good throughout the spring and the fall.
So is he? I don't know much about him. Is he mainly just a runner, or can he actually throw the ball some? I haven't heard.
I think he can do a little bit of both.
I just figured Gramstad was going to be number two. I didn't even study the other guy.
Correct. I mean, I think he's more of a runner, but I do think that he can throw it some too. He is a freshman. You got to remember that. He's
so maybe they'll use him as a weapon, like in different ways.
If it comes to that, yes. I'm hoping that we will not have to use him because Dylan is healthy the whole time. I do not think it's a Heinrich Haarberg situation where he is going to get a few snaps here. That's not the case. But
yeah,
it's important to note that if something were to happen, he's probably our next best option. So he is from California, and a very mobile, athletic type of quarterback, which again, a little different maybe than what Dylan brings to the table, and can use some of them in a little bit different way. Staying on the offense here, the offensive line, and this was the one position that I don't think anybody, really knew how it was going to play out and where everybody was going to be at. It's important to note that like Lutovsky got named a captain as well, which was also sent to Big Ten Media Days. He's starting at left guard. I'll get back to left tackle. Justin Evans, as expected, our center. Spindler, as expected, our right guard. At the right tackle spot, it's an or between Teddy Prohaska and Tyler Knack. And then left tackle between Gunnar Gatula, Turner Corcoran, and Elijah Pritchett, all listed as or. So that tackle position, we didn't know either. what was going to shake out there. Elijah Pritchett was maybe the one that was assumed because we paid him so much money, the transfer from Alabama. He's actually listed at the bottom, but they all are oars there. The depth here is what speaks. I think you can read into who's listed first, second, third, but
Yeah.
the point, there's a lot of guys here that are playing or potentially playing.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much came out how we thought it was going to be, but that right tackle position, I'm surprised the guy, I don't know, I don't think it's his name, but the guy from Alabama is not for sure the starter.
Yeah, Elijah Pritchett at left tackle. I've heard mixed things. Like I was listening to a national podcast recently on Alabama, and they're talking about him transferring, and they're like, "Well, he sucks anyways." So
Wow.
I don't know. I haven't seen him play. Like I haven't watched many clips of him, but it sounds like that. Maybe this is the guy that you were hoping maybe would come along. Maybe he's not as much, but yeah, I mean, we've heard good things about Gunnar Gatula, and he's just a sophomore. We obviously have seen Turner Corcoran. I'm on the left side, and we've seen Teddy Prohaska. You hope Teddy can stay healthy, uh, and not get injured like he has had the past few years. And then Tyler Kanak, another guy that I didn't think maybe would be sniffing the starting spot, but he's there going into game week. And like I said, I think what it does is at these tackle positions, it's next man up mentality, not just injuries, but you got to perform. Like there's other guys knocking
I
on the
mean,
door if you're playing.
tackles, yeah, usually have the most injuries, like of any lineman, I would say. Another thing I noticed was you got the starters on the O line are big,
Correct.
weight wise. Like we all said this on the preview pod where we were doing positions. I think your O line, and it's been a long time since you say this, not worried about it all.
I agree. You look at just the weight, and I saw this on social media as well. You start circling down the line. Everybody's over 300 on
Yep.
this depth chart, um, and usually that's a good sign when you're talking about the offensive line. I always caution it with they got to be able to move. Still, you got to be able to have good feet and blow people off the ball. I don't think you want to have a bunch of 6'7", 6'8" big dudes that can't move. But yeah, it's a very from a depth chart statistic side, it's a very big and strong line. Tight end, Luke Lindenmeyer is the starting nod there, which kind of expected. Heinrich Harburg and Carter Nelson, you're going to see them on the field too, in various packages. The wide receiver position came in
A
as
little surprising.
expected. Oh,
Little. Well,
who?
we didn't know about that third position yet.
I think everybody assumed. I mean, I assumed it would be Isaiah Hunter.
Yeah,
I thought it would, but
we assumed that, but there was a nice battle going on there, and I mean, your two star transfers from your wide receiver position are going to be playing a lot. It seems like Dane Key and then Isaiah Hunter.
Yeah, and Ja'Cory Barney. Obviously, we knew he'd be the slot guy. Janiron Bonner, the other slot guy that we've heard good things about too. So, and you're going to see all these guys: Quinn Clark and Cortez Mills, two freshmen that are kind of the 4 or 5 guys that you'll see on the field in some more spread packages. I think those guys are very athletic type of dudes. Quinn Clark is going to be more of your, I think more of your maybe your possession guy. He's 6'5", a 6'5" target. And we don't see those a lot of times at the receiver position there. So, and then I guess we got to mention running back. Maybe a surprise, maybe not to some people. Emmett Johnson, Mekhi Nelson, Isaiah Mosey, Quentin Ives, no oars listed. So I mean there's your pecking order right there. We knew Emmett was probably going to be that starting position, but the other three with Mekhi Nelson, Isaiah Mosey, and Quentin Ives, I think maybe the biggest disappointment here was Quentin Ives falling to 4, but I think that was the trending that we were hearing. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that means Isaiah Mosey and Makai Nelson are two guys that, freshmen, redshirt freshmen, impressing people. Maybe that's a good thing that, they have climbed versus Quentin Ives falling.
That's the biggest surprise I thought from dip chart was there's no oars in your running back. Like it's pretty dead set. Which I think they might have done that because last year basically had a revolving door at running back. I think they were just like, hey, let's have it solid here. Our 1, 2, 3, 4, just have them solid and know what we're doing at running back, basically.
Dak, what do you think that means? I mean, we talked about Emmett Johnson in the past, and we talked about multiple running backs last year when we had four guys that still going into the first game. But we think Emmett Johnson, and we see here is the clear cut one. What does that mean for touches a game? What do you think average per game that he's getting?
Probably you got to think 20 carries plus because he seems like he's your clear cut number one. Like the other guys are there too, and I don't know, but 20 touches a game, 3 or 4 catches probably. So probably 20 25 touches a game.
Yeah, I don't think that's an unrealistic thought there. I think that the freshmen, the big concern here is going to be their lack of experience in playing
Yep.
at this level, at this pace, at this physicality. And number one thing that was on Rule's agenda when he got here from running backs is protecting the ball. And these Emmett Johnson went through all that. You hope that he's sound in protecting the football. These freshmen, that's where you get a little bit concerned is all right, like can't cough it up. And if that starts happening when they get their opportunity, Emmett's just going to get more opportunities as long as he's healthy. That's always your scare, though, is the more carries you give a guy, the more opportunity and the more wear and tear you have. So I think the running back room is solid. Quentin Ives, I think, is still your bruiser. I still think you'll potentially see him on goal line type of downs. But you made that comment before. When you get down the goal line, like who's getting the ball?
Probably you got to think Emmett, but I don't. These younger guys, you want to work them in, but I don't know if you want to work them in the very first game of the year. I think game one it'll be mostly Emmett touching the ball. These younger freshmen, I feel like though, these 2 games after that are going to play quite a bit, just to get them some playing time and get them in. Yeah, I think that's when you'll see those guys most is game 2 and 3.
On the defensive side of the ball, I think the secondary pretty much locked in stone. I think that the 5 guys that were listed there in the 3-3-5 experienced, all seniors. Andrew Marshall's a junior, and then Rex Guthrie, who Matt Rule said that would be starting on several other power programs. Obviously, he's a redshirt freshman, but he's behind a bunch of guys that have played a lot of snaps on that side of the ball for us. So that I think came in as expected.
Yeah, I wasn't too surprised about the defense side of the ball at all. I mean, it was pretty solid going in with what you knew, and there wasn't too much surprising on that side, I thought.
I mean, I think linebackers, Deshaun McCullough coming from Boomer Sooner, Oklahoma, he's was expected to start. That's not a surprise. Marquise Watson, Trent, and Vincent Shavers and Orr there at the other linebacker spot. And then, Javen Wright, Jacob Bauer listed there second at that other linebacker spot. So those are the names. Those are the guys you'll be seeing on the field to come Thursday there. And then the defensive line, there's an Orr listed on the one defensive end spot, but basically meaning they'll be out there.
Yeah.
Williams Winery and Cameron Lenhart. Elijah Judy's going to play that nose guard spot with Riley Van Poppel. And Keona Davis playing the other defensive tackle spot. Jalen George, you'll probably see him too. All these guys you're going to see. I think the defensive line is the quote unquote concern for a lot of people going into the year. So those are some of the names you'll be hearing come Thursday.
Yeah, your D line. I wouldn't think too much in that or. It's always good to have more depth on the D line because I feel like that's a position that you rotate a lot of players on your D line. The more depth, I guess the better. But I guess we'll find out if it's on their or because one of them just wasn't as talented as you want as your number one.
And I think more and more now with the defensive line, guys need to stay fresh. And
Yep.
it sometimes can get to a point, and I'm just not talking Nebraska, any football game where you get to a point where you're like, why is the best player not out there? Well, coaches try to keep these guys moving through, and you can't have a big drop off. So depth is a big thing here. You hope that we have that with some of these guys that are listed. The 3-3-5, I think, also helps that you can be very creative and move some other guys down, move that jack position down, make them look more like a 4-3. You can do a lot of different things. So I do think that's a positive overall, but we'll see come Thursday what this defensive line is made of against Cincinnati. Any other depth chart considerations here?
Big surprise. Archie Wilson's your punter.
Yeah, we did not talk special teams. But yes, Archie, our punter. It looks like we still have an or for the kicking position, which
that's going to be kind of like basically still in tryouts in the middle of or in the season, basically for kicker. I feel like
I don't mind it. Like kicker's one of those things like you do. Whether you want to say you got to give the guy confidence, you don't get many opportunities. If Canadian gets the first kick, great, go out and make the sucker. Like I don't think you want to punish a guy after missing one field goal, but at the same time, if you have two guys that are very, very close, find the one that's mentally tough enough to get through some of that mental side of kicking, and then go in and just drill it. John Hull, did that against Ohio State and kind of put himself there. Now we bring in a guy that is of equal talent as him. So let's see if you can get through the mental hurdle of kicking. Yeah, thanks for mentioning Archie. And then our kick returners, punt returners, Ja'Cory Barney and Andrew Marshall will be our guys returning punts. Kick returner, you're going to see Isaiah Mosey back there and Mekhi Nelson back there returning kicks. So in addition to being those backup running back spots, they're going to be back there along with Kenneth Williams returning some kicks. And our big-time transfer portal number one of the year, Kevin Galick, the long snapper. As expected, if you're going to get a guy out of the portal for long snapping, he's probably going to start.
Now we talked about this. Ja'Cory Barney's your punt returner, kick returner. I'm not. You said play your best players at their position. Are you worried about maybe playing him a little bit too much and getting him hurt back there?
No, this is the kind of guy that I want back there returning punts. I mean, I'm not at all. I think when you have an explosive, athletic guy, and I'll be honest with you, Ja'Cory Barney's, I think what you want guys returning punts like, well, Austin mentioned it in a previous podcast and coming from Eckler, but you want those guys to be shifty and then have a huge burst of speed. Kick returner,
and he's perfect for that.
Yes, and I mean, you even just looking at size wise on the depth chart, he's 6 foot 170. He's not 6 foot. I'll tell you that.
No,
but he's listed at 6 foot.
That's
170.
That's like me saying I'm 6 foot.
Yeah. So he is listed there, but we'll see. I think he's the perfect guy you want out there returning punts. And I mean, put your best play. We need something to happen on the punt return game. And he's someone that has a little bit of experience from last year. We need to have a return game this year to hopefully get us a better field position and maybe a couple of touchdowns. But maybe that's asking too much.
I don't know. Yeah, I the kicker position I wouldn't be too worried about. Um, I guess, like you said, it's I guess it's better to have two or three guys there, like you said, because mentally wise, once one of them goes shot, um, you can pull the one guy that's not doing well, I guess, and not
Yeah.
not be worried about it.
And maybe we're past the days of worrying about catching it and just fielding it.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. I think are you are you worried about your kicker going in the year, basically?
yeah, I mean, yeah.
I would be,
I
yeah.
I just think that we haven't had good kicking games. So until I see it, that we can make some field goals, I mean, extra points, hopefully, but it's not just the kicking and also the snapping and the holding.
Yeah,
um,
it's everything.
we haven't been good in that area in recent years, in several years, and so yeah, like it is still a nervous spot. Do I trust us having to make a down three with 8 minutes to go and have a 45-yard field goal? Do I trust that that's going in? Absolutely not.
Not. Yeah. No. No.
There's not a
It,
chance.
it's it,
So
it's
no.
it's like you said, it's more of a see it to believe it.
Yes.
Like you gotta it'll be interesting to watch that position, I think, the most.
Um, okay, switching gears here, let's move on to Cincinnati talk a little bit. So before we get deeper into Cincinnati, I want to first just discuss game ones, and this is general for any team in football. What do you like? And I think there's multiple opinions on this. What do you like? What's the ideal game one? If you're Dak, if you're the head coach of Tarleton State University and you said they say, what do you want to do with your schedule? What do you want? How do you want it to look? What do you want to do with your game one?
I I personally hate playing decent teams week one because like I said last time, week ones are sloppy, and we just saw that with K State Iowa State. Very sloppy game. Um, like you're gonna have penalties, and it's gonna be sloppy. Now, what I want game one is you at least you want your team to look solid, I guess. Week one, I don't know. I'm also big. You can't take away much from week one. I don't. I just think it's a sloppy shit show basically. Week ones. No matter what the team is.
So there's two sides of that too, because you mentioned K State, Iowa State. The big thing in week one is both teams are in the same situation. And so both
Yep.
teams are don't know what to expect. You have an idea of what the other team is going to do from the previous year. New coaches throw another wrinkle into that, but you don't have a lot of prep on the other team. Um, in my mind, I mean, we've done enough of these similar type opponents, even though we've been favored in a lot of them. That yeah, I'm with you. Like I want cupcakes. Like I truly want teams that you can go out and
Basically
win.
a preseason game.
Yes, have a preseason game and win and
Yeah.
not have to worry about it. Um, the concern behind that, people will say, well, you're not getting tested up front. Well, that's also a good point because both teams, again, are in the same situation. But when you're the team, Nebraska, when we're the team that constantly is sloppy and usually wins the battle of who's sloppiest in these games, it doesn't end
Yeah.
up well for you. And that's what's
No.
happened in all these games. And so, again, until we can prove that we are clean, efficient, minimal penalties, not putting the ball on the turf, then yeah, I don't
The
want to play that. That's why these games scare the living crap out of me. And if we lose Cincinnati, well, we'll talk about that here later. But it's one of those things I don't need to play these games to start the year off. Now, week 2 or 3, I think they're not horrible, but even Rule said it in the new playoff system. Do you need to play non-conference games that are even Power 5, Power 5? You
no.
probably don't.
No, I don't. I personally don't take a lot from week one of any team because you don't have preseason in college football.
Correct.
And it's basically like your warm up game. Um, and it's where it's really sloppy is in week one games. Your old line is going to be sloppy, holdings, a lot of holding penalties. That's the position group I think is the most sloppy in week ones.
Agreed. All right. Well, we're gonna get to our interview here with Kendall Post, Kansas City Chiefs fan, and also loyal listener to the Return to Glory podcast. We're here with Kendall Post and Austin joining us here this morning for our interview portion. Kendall is a big time Chiefs fan and has gone to a lot of games down in Arrowhead. He's also a loyal listener to the podcast. Kendall's wearing his Chiefs clothes here.
Super Bowl champions. Come on. I know Dak can't wear a shirt like that.
Which season? Was it last year?
Oh, no, it was actually the 2 years before that, Dak. 2 in a row. I don't know if you saw.
Kendall, you go to a lot of games down in Arrowhead Stadium, obviously where we're playing on Thursday, and your parents set up a nice tailgate every week for the game. I think what the people want to know here is how's this all going to work?
That's going to be interesting with Nebraska fans. Chiefs fans, I think it'll be more communal this game compared to Chiefs games. I mean, everybody's rooting for Nebraska. Chiefs games, there's people from out of state, people's first time ever in a stadium, which a lot of people this year, it'll happen with Nebraska. This will be a lot of people's first time at a pro stadium. I think there's going to be a lot more community aspect like it is at Nebraska tailgates where people are mingling all about and stuff and all that. But it's going to be a nice 4-hour pregame probably. Opens at 3, start getting ready at about 7 to go in the game. So bring enough beer for 4 hours basically.
Is 3 o'clock? So I looked last night. I saw 3:30.
3:33. It depends on how many people are waiting outside. Because if there's too much traffic out there and it backs up like towards the interstate, then they just open it early. Sometimes it opens like an hour early, but that's with Chiefs games. So there's more people. There's crazier tailgaters at Chiefs games. There's people with buses and everything. Same with Nebraska, but I don't know if they're traveling down.
I think you might want to expect it. So that was the question. So 3:30 is when the gates open.
Mhm.
But as far as lining up, and I wouldn't put it up past Nebraska fans
Oh, I
to line
mean,
it up, but they will open it early.
I believe so, yeah. They should. They usually do every single Chiefs game if enough people are waiting there. The thing is, Chiefs games usually starting at noon to 3:30, sometimes 7, but I mean, they're there before the sun rises a lot of times, which I don't know why. People sleep overnight in the line and stuff, which sounds ridiculous. Not going to be happening this year, I don't think. It's terrible. How many tickets are sold? Do you know? Because I see it.
Yeah, is it sold out yet? I haven't.
It's the
I
stadium
mean, it's
holds
not sold out yet. I know
76,000.
that.
Not yet.
76,000. That's a lot. What's Memorial Stadium? Is it 80?
85.
Yeah,
85?
86.
I still
So you were-
think this could be louder than Memorial Stadium
Yeah,
easily.
that's what I was gonna ask is you're talking to me about it. It's more built for sound, it sounds like. Yeah, right.
I think so. I mean, it's more straight up funneling the sound right down in. And the game's at 8 p.m. Nebraska games don't out of state. And there's not going to be many, I think, 4-year-olds or 85-year-olds like there is in Memorial Stadium,
Well, it's too late for 4-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah, there's people on Facebook complaining that it was 8 p.m. when the schedule released. How am I supposed to take my 2-year-old there to the game? Well, don't. That's how you do it. Don't do that.
It's an away game, technically.
And it's a Thursday night.
And it's Thursday
Yeah,
night, so I bet most
exactly.
of those people took Friday off too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
cutting
Be a
loose.
crazy person not to. It's going to be over at what, like
11:30
11-ish?
probably.
Yeah, and getting out of that stadium is a pain to
Yeah.
begin with. and then you have everybody out of state not knowing which way to go back to their hotels or home. It's going to be a pain. I'm saying get back to the hotel room at like 2 a.m. or something. It's going to be
So
terrible.
what is that? Again, give people background here on the parking lot and
Mhm.
how this all works, because I know, I mean, I've heard how tailgating, you said open it up 3:30 tailgate. Then what happens throughout the next 9 hours in the parking?
Well, once you get in there, I mean, if you look at the like overhead section of the Chiefs and Royals stadium, it looks terrible. It's just a huge parking lot. It looks like a giant Walmart out in the middle of nowhere. So, I mean, everybody there is drinking. There's no like, let's say, what's it called? Like fan services or anything. It's just a big parking lot. There's no concerts or nothing like that. Once the Royal Stadium gets torn down, then they're going to have something like that. But the next 9 hours is just a bunch of eating and drinking. Some people have TVs, but it's not like Nebraska tailgates where everybody has a TV set up or anything. So there's that too. And I mean, porta potties, not enough of them. Tell you that.
What
Great.
when the game starts, what happens?
Oh, game starts. Well, the thing is, unlike Nebraska games, you can't really stay out in the parking lot and tailgate. I don't know about if it's going to be the same as Chiefs games, but there'll be people like riding around in golf carts and stuff, checking if you're taking over too much space in the parking lot and stuff. And once the game starts, they'll come around and check if people have tickets. Because if you don't have a ticket, I don't know what they do if you don't have a ticket, but you're in the parking lot. I don't know if you have to leave or something, but that's a rule that you
Oh,
can't be in the parking lot once like the game starts if you don't have a ticket.
That's what
So
I've
that's the
heard
main
too.
difference.
That's what
Yeah.
I was
uh,
wondering. Do they kick you out? Like what?
Yeah,
Like
I don't know what they would do. That's the
Husker
thing. That's
Husker fans is going to be tough, because if you don't know that information, I mean, think about
yeah,
Nebraska tailgates. People will just tailgate through the game and
yeah.
watch the game.
yeah.
If it'll be interesting to see if that's allowed and what will happen, or maybe they'll say, you know what, there's too many people doing it that don't know what's going on. We just got to let it go.
I don't know where you go. You just leave everybody that went to the game in and just leave the
Yeah,
parking lot. Yeah, I have no idea. Hopefully that doesn't happen to any of us. That's the main thing.
but we should be in the game.
Yeah, we should be. We should be.
Maybe.
Not knowing you. We'll
So
see if you
then
make it.
game gets over. You mentioned the chaos getting out of there. I mean, what you said your
Yes.
estimated time? Like, I mean, it depending on where you're at, right? It could take
Yeah,
over an hour.
that is true too. Depending if you park in the back parking lot, I mean, towards the exit, it'll be better. Front parking lot, I think Alex Cruz too. He's just been saying people don't know how to zipper merge for Nebraska. They don't know how to zipper merge. That's the main thing, I guess, getting out of the stadium. Usually, I've had a couple beers, so I'm kind of asleep in the back seat, and then just arrive in the hotel. But man, there's some years where it's just a standstill for just 15, 20 minutes trying to get out of your parking spot. But then some people just go back, depending if we win or lose. Some people go back and just drink in the parking lot for a little bit, some more to waste some time until you get out.
Is that
But
allowed?
yes, that is allowed. It's allowed as in they don't stop you. I don't know if it's like in the rule book where you can do that just
So,
or if
what
there's a
point
certain
will they
amount of
kick us
time.
out for
I don't
celebrating or commiserating after the game?
especially since it's an 8 o'clock game. I don't know because I mean Chiefs games at noon, get over at 3:30 and stuff. So then you can be in there. I mean, I've been in there for another hour probably, but I don't know, man. With it being that late,
No, those gonna be like, I
seems
want
like
to
they're
go
gonna want to
home.
be ushering
Yeah.
people out. Now, if Cincinnati wins, they can let those 6,000 fans stay there and they won't even notice. I mean, we'll see about that.
So
So, go ahead,
how
Dad.
do you think the game's going to go?
Oh God. I'll be honest. I'm very, very nervous about this game. I've heard way too many good things from people. That's the thing. No one's saying, "Oh, they don't have a chance." Cincinnati does not have a chance. I mean, it's 95% of people say that. Other people, oh, it could be close. There's some possibility we can lose. I mean, I'm hoping we beat them double digits. What's the spread now? 6.5 still, or is it
Yep.
less?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see us winning nicely. I could see us winning by 14. But man, if Cincinnati gets the ball, just runs it down our throat as a 7-minute drive,
Yeah.
touchdown. Oh my God. That's, I mean, right there, I kind of think the game's over. Obviously, we're gonna battle back, try to, but man, that's gonna demoralize us. Oh God. I'm just thinking of the worst things right now. This is terrible. I want to be in the stadium right now and have kickoff happen.
I like doing this. This is how my brain works. I want to go through the tail end scenarios here. So one being we lose. Like what happens to Nebraska fans like you yourself, and everybody can answer this. If we lose this game,
Jesus.
what happens?
Then all I'm thinking about is Michigan. I mean, if you lose this game, Michigan's way better than Cincinnati. I mean, they should be. But then you're thinking, you want to go into Michigan State 2-2 and wonder if you're going to win that game? Because hopefully we can beat Akron and HCU. I mean, definitely HCU, Akron. If you go 0-2, call the season off and, you know, burn all your Husker gear. But losing this game, if we lose by if we lose by 3 points or 20 points, I think it's the same. I don't
Yes.
think that
Agreed.
matters.
Yes. Austin, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, we lose this game, it's gonna be a sad scene. It's gonna be worse than probably the Illinois game last year, the Illinois game, the overtime, just it was a very sad group. This will be worse.
We've had some sad games. I mean, very sad games as fan bases. Could
This
this be the worst one?
That's what I was gonna say is this
Oh.
Northwestern's up there for your first
That
losses?
one's bad.
Yeah, I think this could be the saddest.
Oh, it's going to be such a cool atmosphere. It's going to be all set up for Nebraska. It's going to be 95% Nebraska fans
the
there.
weather's gonna be great,
Yeah.
or it might be raining, I guess, by then. But yeah,
It's-
everyone's gonna travel down. The hype's gonna be
It's an away game. I mean,
There's-
Patrick Mahomes Jr. is playing in Patrick Mahomes' house. I mean, come
drinking the
on.
whole game.
There's hype every year, and sometimes it's joking around, but this year I feel like there's actual hype with Nebraska football, and you lose, that's out the window right away.
I
I
will
think
say,
we'll-
Nebraska's not gonna lose. I feel pretty good. My gut is
Oh,
that we're not
God.
here we
gonna lose.
go.
Oh,
Here we
no.
go.
No, I feel pretty good. We're not gonna lose. But if we do, they will boo. The fans will boo.
Oh, yeah.
That is my
Well, okay.
gut reaction.
Yep. So this is the what if. Like because
Oh,
of the hype, guys, and where the fan base is at. Like, yes, there's hype. Yes, there's high expectations. But I do think people, like to what Austin just said, people are on the verge of like saying F this, like
Yep.
all of it.
I drove down here. I spent money.
And that's not just this game. That is the football program in general for however many years, and thinking like now everybody's like, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. We're gonna believe it. And the second this game happens, it's gonna be like taking a balloon and just shoving a needle into it. And it's not gonna be a slow deflate. It's just gonna explode. And I mean, people are going to give up. And this is fans, but I'm talking players, I'm talking coaches. The amount of deflating thoughts that are going to come in after a loss, like it's going to be bigger than what people think. And then what Kendall you said is important. Then focus on Michigan. That is going to be so goddamn hard. Now, good news is you have 3 weeks to do it, but so freaking hard to
How
get
long?
your mind to do that. Like I'm talking internally, players and coaches, because everything that you like are hyped up about and looking forward to this season, and for this first game, you're not playing a cakewalk like Dak and I talked earlier. Oh, that's the what if loss to me. Like wheels are gonna fall off. Bad.
So say Nebraska does lose this game. How many days straight do you not sleep, Hunter?
definitely not that.
I don't know. I mean, my balloon's slowly deflating right now. So this will just put the nail in the coffin for it. On the flip side, guys, I want to talk about this. What if Nebraska wins 38-10?
Ooh.
What if, obviously, expectation-wise, they're supposed to win by a touchdown, 10 points. What if it's a blowout? What if we come out? What if we score 45 and we win 45-13?
I think you could be like maybe 24, 23 ranked the next week. I'm gonna be surprised about that. That and then heading into Michigan, as the coverage for that game is gonna
Yeah.
be
Gonna be-
huge.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess if you come out and look great, again, we don't know how good Cincinnati is. We'll
No.
figure that out.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't see any way possible that this game's not sloppy.
I mean,
Again,
True.
but if it's wet, I could see that.
If it's wet.
But
I'm talking about what if we
if
blow them out.
I would say if that's the case, I don't think the fans react the way you think because I think the expectation is that that's how much better than Cincinnati we are. Like people will be jacked, but it's not going to be like, oh boy. I mean, because there's already people who are like, if we win this game by 10 points, it's going to be this is natty or bust year. We're making the playoffs, you know?
Okay. So here's what I think 45-13 means. You start to get people like me to start going like this. And slowly cranking. Like you get the fringe, the fans that are in this point of I want to believe, but I'm not going to. I'm not until I see it. Now, Cincinnati could be bad. We don't know. But you blow a team like this out, which we don't ever do. We don't do that.
Oh,
We've done to Northwestern. I think the only team out Power 5 team recently.
Wisconsin
You blow a team like
last
Cincinnati
year.
out.
Last year we killed Wisconsin, didn't we?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, that was as impressive as I'm talking like just obliterate.
like a
Cincinnati.
13
you
points,
do.
seven
Then
in the fourth
Northwestern.
quarter.
The hype is for about everybody then is bought in. Like now, I'm gonna try to not let myself say, okay, one game. Let's not dive all in over one game. But if it's one game in impressive fashion like that, oh boy. And me, but also the players and the coaches. And like you do that, your mindset now because we're pretty freaking good. Whether Cincinnati's good or not, I don't know. But I wanted to go through that tail ends. We'll talk about more realistic stuff here in a second. But Kendall, last thoughts here. House Rules.
God.
Matt Rules podcast comes out.
It's come out.
Thoughts on that.
It's already out. Come on. Just did some research this morning on it. Let's see. The co-host is Anthony the Cuz Gargano. Don't know who that is.
Yeah, who is that?
I have no idea. His first guests are a author, basically a self-help author, and Javen Wright, the linebacker. But my God, he opens it up. I watched the first 2 seconds, 2 minutes. He's like, why are we doing this? Well, I've been fired before. And then another thing, he talks about being fired again. He just talks about, I've had 4 head coaching jobs. I don't really care about this. I'll be on the beach selling flip-flops if this doesn't work out. Like, what the hell are we doing here? Who's going to listen to this? Who's going to listen to this if we're 2-3 going into Michigan State? That's going to look bad. I don't like the optics of it. I don't think I'm interested in anything Coach Rule has to say. I mean, win some games and then maybe. But I mean, I think it's embarrassing right now. Dak, what do you think?
Look
I
at
don't.
him doing over there.
I'm not big on go win some games first before
I just don't think he's interesting.
Podcasting. Yeah, go win some games first before doing these podcasts and other shit like that. It's like it makes you almost feel like he's not locked in. Like he's just around for like the show, I guess.
People said it's good for NIL.
And
how's it good for NIL? What's the sponsors? I didn't see any sponsors.
It's not.
Like, what are you talking about? What, an extra $1,000?
I mean, your last coach didn't give a shit what he did either, and it's like,
I mean, no.
And then
let's just win against Cincinnati, and then maybe I'll give House Rules a listen. I'll give it a chance.
It's weird that he felt he needed the platform.
A year ago, too, he said, I don't really like doing these in-season videos that we do with the team. Now he has a whole podcast. I don't get it. I don't like it. But then again, if we blow out Cincinnati 48-13, I will subscribe and listen to every single episode.
Austin, what's your general thoughts on it?
Like I said, it feels weird that he felt the need for the platform. It's like, okay, you he talks all the time at all these different things. It's why do we need a podcast? I mean, I'm fine with it because he does like the radio shows, and it's just if you think of it just as like another radio show, okay. Um, I will admit, I have not listened. I probably won't listen.
Maybe
Uh,
the cuz is a great co-host. Who
maybe,
knows?
maybe.
There's a new nickname for you, Dak.
I I do think. I mean, I'm not going to be a dead horse. I'm in the same ballpark as you guys. And Austin, I like that thought. Like, why need something else in addition to everything you do?
He already
'Cause-
tweets 5 times a day. I mean, my
Which is
God.
fine. I'm fine with what he's been doing. I
And,
really
and
Oh,
the
yeah.
people will say too, whether it be a TV show, which is what like the old time coaches were allowed to do once a week. The NIL benefits, the recruiting benefits. I get all of that. Like I understand it. I just disagree with spending extra time on it, especially during the season. When you're now maybe the operation is so much different that Rule doesn't have to coach that much anymore. I don't know. Like maybe he's got all of his jobs or ducks are in a row and he's able to focus on this stuff. Maybe that's the whole intention. If it goes back to leading an entire program on a different stage, then maybe. But Austin, I like your take. Like, do we really need something else like in addition right now? Like, again, win some games, get this thing rolling. It'd be a lot more intriguing. Right now, it has more negative repercussions right now. If things go south, you look at something like this and you go, "What in the hell are we doing?"
right.
Like it versus the benefits of it working out. Like, okay, great, it worked out. And right now, it makes you look kind of stupid if things. Now, maybe it won't. Maybe we will win. Maybe we will be 5-0 in 5 games, and we look back on all this stuff and we go, "Oh, Matt Rule is a genius. He had it all planned out." But right now, there's nothing to indicate that because we haven't won anything besides winning one bowl game last year. Like, congrats.
At what point does he pull Paul George and say, "All right, this is over. I need to focus on the playoffs"?
Right. Playoff P.
Playoffs. All right,
Playoffs.
Kendall.
All right,
Thanks
thank you
for
guys.
joining.
There's-
Score prediction.
There's
from
one more question I have for Kendall.
Oh, God.
Who's the better quarterback, JJ McCarthy or Patrick Mahomes?
JJ McCarthy's going to be out of the league in 2 years. So there you go.
There you
How
go.
about that? Score prediction. Give me, you know what? No, 24-13. We're making a field goal.
Okay.
That's right.
Austin Rose joining us here for the second half of the pod. Thanks to Kendall coming on this morning, giving us a preview of the Chiefs atmosphere down in Arrowhead for the game. Austin, we talked depth chart part 1. Before we do any Nebraska football, we better mention Husker volleyball
2-0.
starting off the year 2-0 in the AVCA opening games here for the college volleyball season, defeating Pittsburgh on Friday and then Stanford on Sunday.
Number 3 Pitt and number 6. And Stanford, it was not much of a game. I mean, the fans weren't even into it because it was that much of a beating. It was just okay. We look freaking good for the first 2 games of the year to clean up Pitt and Stanford like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy. And even Pitt, like we dropped set 1. Right? It was set 1 or was it set 2?
Set 2.
It was set 2, you're right. But even then when we dropped it, it was still a close set. We kind of went on a run at the end. And then we killed them set 3, and we pretty much killed them set 4. They kind of came back a little bit at the end, but it really didn't feel that close. And like I said, Stanford was just a bludgeoning of what was once a national champion.
Yes. I thought set 1 against Pittsburgh, we were down, I think 21-18 and the match
We
was
ripped
like a
off 5
7-1
straight
run.
points. Yeah.
And then same thing, set 2. So I think it took us a couple sets to maybe start clicking. And then, I mean, since then, set 3, 4, then all of yesterday's game against Stanford was just, it was impressive. Like this team that we've been hearing about, hold the thought, but maybe one of the best teams we've had and we've had some pretty damn good teams recently. Like this is a pretty damn good team, and preseason ranked number one. It could be a pretty impressive year for Husker volleyball.
We had what, 4 preseason All-Americans or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Something crazy.
Like Emily Eamon did her like top 25 returning players, and we had like 8 of them in the top 25, and 3 of the top 4 were from Nebraska.
Yeah, it could be a pretty good year, which is exciting. You get lump that with the football team, everyone's got this, and no, I'm just kidding. Not quite that level, but we looked really good. The new players meshed really well. I mean, the returners are still kind of the stars. So Danny's got a good setup for a first season at Nebraska, not gonna lie. I also like they said the iron sharpens iron. It's like, whoa, we got a little Matt Rulism going on here at the volleyball team.
Yep.
I went down there to do some podcast research, see what the scene was like. The fans, people are jacked up about Husker volleyball. Like everyone's like, we're great. Like, I think from the way it sounds, this could go down as one of the best teams ever in volleyball history. Like,
Whoa.
Oh,
yeah,
That's just what your research told you?
yeah, that's what research told me. Now, I did have to ask who won, but
it's nice to have a team that you just feel we have these soft expectations for the football team. It's like if we don't make the national championship game, which is in Kansas City this year, the Final Four is in Kansas City.
oh,
Unfortunately, not unfortunately, my sister's wedding's that weekend, so I will not be able to go. But,
Careful on your wording.
yeah, not unfortunately. Unfortunate timing. Um, but gosh, if I would buy tickets right now. Honestly, that's how good I feel about this team. I watched the game against Pitt, and I was like, okay, I'm going to the Final Four. And I was like, oh, it's in Kansas City. And then I saw the date. So I was really disappointed. But honestly, get the tickets now.
Get them now because they're probably just going to go up as the year
Yep.
goes on. Cincinnati. So we will be doing a preview pod, shorter one on Thursday morning before the game. But for those of you that have hung on along this long, we want to talk a little bit about the Bearcats and what Coach Satterfield's team is going to bring to Kansas City. Number one, the things that we've been hearing and what their plan is they're going to try to muck it up. And this is what I think they're going to try to do. Like their defensive line specifically is by far the strength of their team. Their defensive tackle, Dante Corleone, he's one of the better defensive linemen we're going to see this year, and that's saying something. And that's important to call out because the offensive line is going to get tested right away off the gate. And we will see how they hold up because we've had some higher, not super high, but higher expectations for our offensive line. But Cincinnati, I think, in the trenches, and as far as what I'm going to look at early on, is who's winning the line of scrimmage. And if one side is dominating the other early on, that's going to tell you a lot for how the rest of the game is going to go because they are pretty strong up front.
I mean, it's probably best I guess he also will be fresh, but it's like, well, at least the offensive line's going to be fully healthy against, one of the better defensive line. Now he'll also be fully healthy. But if it's raining and it's a slower game and you kind of know what's going to happen, it might make it a little more difficult because it's like, well, we know they're probably going to run the ball here. So that the way that they, draw up their defensive scheme would probably be a little bit more taxing on the offensive line, but also we would be drawing up a better scheme for the run. I don't know, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Their quarterback definitely does not scare you at all.
No, he doesn't.
No.
So Brendan Sorsby is their quarterback that you're mentioning. He's been back back for his 5th season, I believe, in college football. He had a pretty solid year last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he is not a guy that's coming in and he's unknown on what he can do. Like, we have film, we have tape on him. He's experienced. I think that's important, especially playing in a hostile environment. A road game for them is going to be. He doesn't scare you, but at the same time, having experience scares me. Like, just to keep things together. If a true freshman,
That's
like,
true.
I don't know. I would rather not rather, but if Bryce Underwood came from Michigan and played in this, I think he'd get rattled very easily. I don't think Swordsby's going to be a guy that gets rattled because of the situation and environment that we're going to have an advantage in.
That's a good point. But like Dak said, I'm not. When I say I'm not scared, it's not saying like, oh, this guy is easy, but it's just he's not a weapon that I'm like, how are we going to contain him? I think he'll be able to handle the moment better, like you said, but it's not a guy that's gonna go out there and absolutely dominate the game, and we're not gonna be able to have an answer for him because you know, athletic like his receivers can only do so much, and I'm not there aren't like I'm feeling good, guys. I know you guys are all scared, but I'm feeling pretty good.
Uh, the other offensive pieces that are going to be, you mentioned, like, who else is there? Tawi Walker from Wisconsin. We get to face another Wisconsin running back.
Yep.
Comes in. The receivers, basically, they're all going to be new. Cyrus Allen, Jeff Caldwell, Caleb Goody. Like, they are newer guys that we don't know how they're going to mesh. They don't know how they're going to mesh.
That's true.
So,
But they're also new in the system, with their quarterback. So there isn't
that's what I'm
that.
saying. It's all new. So that, I think, plays to our advantage where everything's new. We don't really know what that all could look like. And I think that's a bit benefit us. Their defense, I mentioned their run game, but it's not like overall last year they were very vulnerable to big plays. And if our offense is explosive like we think it could be, I think that could be a good thing. Now, weather, keep that in mind.
Mhm.
But I think our receivers against their secondary is another matchup that if it pops for us, it's going to pop. And it could be a lot of fun offensively for this game specifically if that works. Now, you got to do your job up front first in any sort of passing game. But do I expect us to go out and sling it 85% of the time? No. It'll be a good, healthy balance, I think, of run and pass. But I do think that's important. And then the turnovers. Another big thing, Cincinnati was -4 in turnovers last year. We obviously have not had strong numbers in the turnover differential in recent years. Defense forced a few more last year. That's more the definition of John Butler. I think that'll also be a thing. If the turnovers are 3-1 in Cincinnati's favor, I'm not liking it. If it's the opposite, I like where we're at.
It'll also be interesting because Cincinnati led the Big 12 in time of possession. We led the Big 10 in time of possession. So
That's gonna say Cincinnati wants to slow this game down and
but we also like
control
to
the
slow
ball.
the game
Yeah.
down.
Do you though with this new high flying offense?
Maybe that's what we're gonna see. Like, this could be different. We last year we definitely did. You mentioned the time of possession stat. We'll see what offense looks like this year, and specifically this game, how we want to attack it.
I
don't-
mean, don't go for a deck.
I just don't see any way Cincinnati wins this game if they get in a shootout with Nebraska. Like they have to slow it down to win this game.
Which the weather might
Help them a lot.
help them. They
Because
could.
is it going to rain? Like what's the percent chance now?
I don't know what it is right now.
Last I saw is 50% for the weather forecast. So there's a chance. I don't know if we're gonna know for sure, but there's a chance that it could be a little wet. I don't think it's gonna be like pouring rain the whole game. But yeah, there's probably going to be some weather involved there. I should mention before we move on from Cincinnati players, their tight end's good too, by the way. He's a senior, transfer from Ohio State. Like, he's not, maybe he's pro potential, I don't know, but he's solid. Like, they're gonna utilize the guy as well. as most running play action type teams are going to do. My last like matchup thing to watch is kind of flipping the other line of scrimmage around. Our defensive line is kind of the big concern this year, and we mentioned the depth chart, some of the oars there, moving multiple guys in. Cincinnati's offensive line, I think, is solid. They're going to have a strong run game. Can our defensive line stay fresh, hold their own against another Power 5 opponent? Right away from the get-go, we're going to find that out. The line of scrimmage, guys, and we talk about it on the podcast a lot, it's huge, especially for this game. It is so big in how this game's going to play out. And if we can't hold our own, it's going to be a close game. And it probably will be a close game. But I don't think we're going to get blown out or we're going to blow them out or anything like that if the line of scrimmage game is a battle. And I think it probably will be, which leads me to where I think the game will go. So
You're getting less and less confident as we get towards the game.
no,
I feel like.
I've never felt great about this game.
Yeah, you.
I'm not. There's my confidence isn't going down. I'm getting more nervous, but I'm not. I have never once felt good about this game.
What was your original percentage prediction for this
60,
game?
I think.
Yeah, it's too low.
See, I'm in the middle of you in Austin. I don't. Nebraska should win this game.
The only thing that gives me pause is the weather. That is the only thing. Like I think it's going to be a good game, and I'm not saying if Cincinnati were to win, I'd be shocked. But if the weather was totally normal, I just think our offensive talent is far superior than their defensive talent. Our defensive talent's good enough, full of seniors, and our DBs are good enough that we would win. The weather is the only thing that's making me like, oh, gosh, because that kind of neutralizes half of what we're good at. Our offensive talent, all of a sudden, it's like, well, our wide receiving core is not as useful, and now they're kind of game planning against our run game, and so we'll see. We do have a whole offseason to prepare for this opponent. Biggest bye week ever.
And so did Cincinnati.
So Cincinnati.
Yeah. Again, since Cincinnati goes down, gets that ball for scores. Here we go.
Here's what I want to do for our prediction here to end the show. I want you to give me a score prediction, but I also want you to give me one player to watch. Maybe it's a position group, but player that you're watching, you're excited to watch, you're intrigued to watch leading up to this game.
We're going to go 27-17 Nebraska, and I'm excited to watch Ja'Cory in the special teams unit specifically.
I was for sure thought you were going to go RG.
Gotta see our Lord and Savior Archie Wilson.
I'm going to go 31-17 Nebraska. And Dan Key is the one I'm going to be watching because there's a lot of hype behind him. Can he back it up? Or how much are they even going to use him?
That's funny. You guys both did receivers. I'm probably most excited to watch some of these younger running backs. I don't think Emmett's going to be in the whole time. I think Mekhi Nelson is going to get some opportunities. How many, I don't know, but it might be on the kick return game. I think that I want to see how these guys look in a game more. I have a pretty good idea of what Emmett Johnson can and can't do, and maybe he'll flash for more. I haven't watched Dane Key, but I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to watch Ja'Cory. And then, yeah, my second close up is our punt game. I hope I'm excited to see if it's like just this transformed. I think it could be really cool. So I'm really pumped to watch that as well. I went from 50 or 60%. You're right, Dak. I probably am a little bit less excited about winning. I'm moving my percentage down to 50, and I flipped a coin and we lost. So I'm going to go 24-21 Cincinnati.
Wow.
That's so dumb, Hunter.
I hope I'm dumb.
So dumb.
I hope I'm dumb. I hope you're right. Also, Dak, 0 for 1 on his picks
Yep.
for the year.
That was a
Not a
terrible.
great start.
Going for it on that 4th down was a terrible call. It's terrible.
It's tough. Tough.
I could not believe they. I was like, yeah, whatever.
Not
I wasn't that
impressed.
upset, but I was like, that was an atrocious decision.
All right, we will be back Thursday morning. We'll have a game day pod for you released early to mid morning that you can listen to on your way down to Kansas City. A little more Cincinnati preview. Maybe my mind will change, but doubt it. Go Big Red.
GBR.
Go Big Red.